The Biden administration is trying to urgently pass its top priority, a nearly $2 trillion plan to help millions of jobless and hungry Americans who just suffered through the worst economic year this nation has seen since the end of World War II. The plan includes $1,400 stimulus payments, enhanced unemployment assistance for small business, money for childcare and aid for states and schools, increased support for vaccines, and a $15 minimum wage increase. But as the Republican Party struggles with its own identity, the question is whether President Biden will be able to deliver on the compromise he promised the nation in his inaugural address just 11 days ago, or whether Democrats will plow ahead with the plan all by themselves. Joining me now to discuss all of this is President Biden's top economic advisor, director of the National Economic Council, Brian Deese. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you've seen this morning a group of 10 Republican senators led by Susan Collins, and it includes my next guest, Rob Portman, sent a letter to President Biden. It outlines a proposal for compromise, and in that they're requesting a meeting with President Biden to discuss it. Will that meeting happen?
We've received the letter, and we certainly will be reviewing it over the course of the day. What I will say is that the provisions of the president's plan, the American Rescue Plan, were calibrated to the economic crisis that we face. As you know, we just lived through the worst economic year since the demobilization in the wake of World War II. Just this week, 1 million more Americans filed claims for unemployment insurance. 30 million Americans reported they didn't have enough food to eat. We're in a unique crisis, and the elements of this plan really were designed and are designed to take on that crisis head on. How are we going to get shots in people's arms? How are we going to get schools reopened so parents can get back to work? And how are we going to provide that direct relief to those families and those businesses that are struggling the most? So that's the theory behind the plan. We're certainly open to input from anywhere where we can find a constructive idea to make this package as effective as possible. But the president is uncompromising when it comes to the speed that we need to act at to address this crisis.
But are you willing to negotiate any points of your proposal? Or, for example, are you wedded to the number, the price tag, $1.9 trillion? Are you willing to come down from that?
We really need to focus on the elements of this package and what they're intended to do. So if we look at the vaccine distribution effort, for example, the money that was passed in December is quickly running down, and we need more resources urgently to stand up the vaccine distribution efforts, the vaccine procurement efforts that we know are necessary if we're going to get our arms around this crisis. So if we want to have a viable chance at getting schools to reopen, we're going to have to provide more resources to schools. And if we don't act now, the cost of that is going to be greater going forward. So we're certainly open to ideas.